What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony, Lori, and Mike. And we are discussing the 5th episode of season 4 of The Boys. And first thought that comes to my
Man, I swear
mind
to
is,
God,
what the
I
fuck
I
did
just
I just
I'm
watch?
I'm never going to a petting zoo again. I'm never going to a fucking petting zoo for as long as I live. Fuck it. I refuse.
Bruh, what the hell?
Mm-mm.
I had to pause this episode so many times because I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And then for Frenchie to come in and say, not again. Wait,
I
I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? What?
what
I know
kind of
you had
situation
objective
have you
life,
been
but what?
in? Right.
Nah, see, that's one of his weird melange of hallucinogenics.
It had to be because if you have experienced any of that in your life, you really need to go get help. I mean, I know we've been talking about all of the characters working through their trauma and everything, but that's on a whole other level if that's something you've
Mm-hmm.
experienced. But oh my god, the I was again, it's one of those things where I'm like, you try to think of ways that they can top themselves, and the shit that they come up with, you're like, what kind of drugs were y'all doing when you came up with this? What was this in the comics? Anthony, why are you smiling?
What?
Answer. It was this in the comics. I'm asking, I'm like asking for real.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember or know.
Okay.
I
I
don't
think
I
something
don't
like that.
remember. I don't
I
remember.
don't.
I think
So,
they said that they ran out of source material, and I think
Ah.
that they are basically adapting to what they. I think
hmm.
I'd have to go back and check, but none of this seems familiar.
Okay, because I was gonna say something
The
about beat
hamster.
up animals would be like,
Yeah, the hamster was in the last episode, last
Well,
season.
the hamster was all they did was extrapolate on the hamster.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because the hamster
That's what
was
it
a
seemed
very
like.
famous panel because of where the hamster was located. But that's the story.
I think. I think that
Do I
you're
want to
definitely
know?
I
It
think
was
you'd
in his. It
remember.
was in his
No.
junk area.
I think you'd remember a chicken popping out alien style from someone's stomach.
I don't know. I was reading Preacher at the time at the same time, so I don't know. I got a lot between that and they all followed from Preacher, so
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
sorry.
first,
No.
first of all, now that I sit here and think about it, might mention the chicken. Did anybody go back and kill the eggs that were laid in that first dude's stomach?
They can't do it. They're bulletproof. The chickens were bulletproof. They were over there shooting chickens, and the chickens were walking around like, "What y'all doing?" They weren't even phased. They were like shooting the chickens, and the chickens just walking around like, I don't know what y'all think y'all doing. It's like they couldn't. They probably.
I just want to know who thought it was a good idea to shoot up free range animals with meat. Just I don't mind in the cage, you know, you do what you gotta do, but the chicken walking around,
I'm
no.
telling you, all of the
Why?
people who are dealing with V, temp V, whatever, and they're just like, they're being so irresponsible. Like, I understand, okay, you're trying to duplicate this virus, which I'm loving all of the Gen V shout outs in this one. And I know we haven't talked about it like extensively yet, but I love that they're bringing it into this. I love the fact that they included that little cameo of Chance Perdomo, rest in peace, in the V52 Expo thing where they were talking about the Godolkin 4. But it's like, you're extracting stuff from this virus, or you're trying to recreate this virus, do whatever it is that they were trying to do. You already know how deadly this virus is, because when we saw it in Gen V, it was airborne. It was like, it literally killed all of the soups that were down there in that little experimentation area. So you have to know, one, this shit is unstable. Two, you can't just go. you just can't go injecting stuff in everything and not expecting a problem. And I understand they kept it contained, or they tried to keep it contained. They had an area to work in, but who let the V get into, or who let the virus get into the water supply? Who was, when I tell y'all, I was sitting here looking at this TV like, these people are a bunch of idiots. Like, they really are a bunch of idiots.
the V got in the water supply by accident. Like they did because the vials of V hit the ground and went down the drain and into the groundwater.
That's my question though. You are in a lab with a deadly virus. Who was not paying attention to the point that they let this virus contaminate the water source?
So you're mad they didn't call OSHA to get everything up to safety standards when they're making a virus that is dangerous to.
I'm saying these people had the money of Vought behind them, because remember, I think if I remember correctly from
Not really,
Vought was the one that was kind of behind them doing this virus, weren't they?
Right, but this is after what's her name took the virus from Godolkin.
Yes, but you don't think Vicky got access to some of Stan Edgar's money?
Okay, that's Edgar money. That's not Vought money. That's different levels.
Where do you think Stan Edgar got the money from? He used to work.
I'm saying you have
Six degrees of separation, Mike. Come on now.
I'm saying you have Stan Edgar's wealth and you have Vaught's wealth. Stan Edgar has access to this amount of money. Vought has access to this amount of money.
But it's all the same money. That's what I'm saying.
Not really. Okay. I don't necessarily. I mean, Stan Edgar has no further connections with Vought.
You really think that? Didn't we have this conversation a couple of weeks ago? You really think that?
I think we did.
Yeah.
That's like y'all were like, oh, Stan Edgar ain't gonna be in prison. Where did they pick him up? Where did I say he was, and where did they pick him up?
He was in prison.
He was in prison. Get ready to take a pottery class.
There too.
Taking pottery classes.
He was happy. Right. He was like, look, I'm far away from that stuff. I'm safe in my little hole, and I'm good. I mean, think about it. The guard that walked him to the door, he talking to that guard like that guard was his personal bodyguard. Don't go too far, Dominic. This ain't gonna take long. What?
Mm-hmm.
And you really think Stan Edgar still has no connections with Vought? Please. What was it? I think something Anthony said. I think Anthony said this in the last season when Stan got kicked out and arrested and stuff. He's one of those mans that's got plans on top of plans on top of plans on top of plans. Yeah. He's still connected. We don't know how, but I'm sure he's still connected somehow.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I understand that. I'm just saying that, I mean, they could have planned better, but it's like, how do you, there'd be so much work they'd have to do to make that place that kind of safe for like stuff getting into the groundwater and stuff, that they were just like, we just need somewhere to hide right now and do it. So
and how did that work out for them?
It didn't work out at all. No, you're right.
Not great.
Exactly.
Didn't work out at all.
What was it? The cow when
bull.
The bull was that the one that was flying and picked up the person and then they started getting attacked in the air?
No, those are sheep. Those are the sheep.
There was a bull in there somewhere though, right?
Yeah, the bull busted through the gate and like was getting ready to charge them. Then the sheep picked him up and picked him apart.
Right. That's where it was. It was that same scene because the bull was getting ready to charge, and then all of a sudden the sheep. Let me tell you, because I wasn't expecting the sheep, I was sitting down here just watching it. When the sheep lifted them up in the air, I literally let out a scream in my house because I was like, "What the fuck?" What?
Out of nowhere.
And just going through people biting off body parts, I was like, what in the world am I watching right now?
Also, the Secret Service agent that decided to jump or try to get away by jumping over a fence. Why are you jumping in the air, woman? Like the sheep are flying in the air. Why are you going to jump up?
Well,
Get down.
I kind of think at
She was
that
like,
point,
ah! Then she got snatched. Like,
I
you
kind
deserve to
of
get
think
pulled
at that
apart.
point, when you are looking at something as unreal as flying sheep and beat up chickens that are, pushing their way through people's sternums and all of this other stuff, I think your common sense at that point goes out the window and you're in a
It
fight or
goes
flight
away.
mode. You're just like,
Yeah.
I just gotta go. And unfortunately, she didn't make the best decision. And
No. Oh my God.
that farmhouse scene, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anything as crazy on TV, and probably will never see like that.
That shit was fucked up.
But you know what? I don't want to ask that question because this is The Boys, and I don't know what the fuck Eric Kripke got in his mind for the next episode. I'm scared though.
I mean, shit. This episode itself was a lot. You look back, I'm like, this episode had a shit ton of shit in it. Like, holy fuck. Like, I
Right.
barely can. It's hard to keep up with that shit.
You have the beat up animals, and then you have
Oh, she was trying to jump the fence.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, at least if you jump the fence, you have somewhere to go if you make it. But if you kind of go down, there's you can't go further than the ground. So I guess she just figured she'd take her chances, that maybe she could outrun it, or because there was all these other people here. Because I mean, you literally have all the boys. You have Victoria Newman. You have Stan Edgar. You have their bodyguards. You really have your pick of lunch if that's what this is. So maybe she just thought, hey, there's a cornucopia of choices to fill their palates. Let me just try to get over this fence, and that just didn't work out for her.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
At all.
But you have
Man.
not only beat up animals, you have a beat up Hugh with Hughie's dad. And
Shout out to Simon Pegg going from saying absolutely nothing to giving one of the best performances I have ever seen him give in anything he's ever been in.
That whole sequence of him being in the hospital, waking up from his coma, because we know from the last episode, Hughie's mom put the V in his IV and he woke up fully healed, or so so it seems. And watching Daphne's reactions throughout all of this, I kind of sort of want to say I feel like she's sincere, but Mike, that whole theory you had at the very first about her working for Vought, and it's still kind of tickling the back of my brain.
I'm just like, I'm having trouble with, maybe this is just like a plot hole, but I don't understand like how she put together that Hughie had the V, and the V is for his dad, to save his dad. Like, I'm still missing that connecting point. Like,
no, I mean, I think I would have gotten that too. She claims that it fell out of his pocket. So when he left out of the room in the last episode, he had his jacket on the chair. Now, I was one of the ones that was sitting there thinking, like, dummy, you got V in your pocket. Don't leave it there. I didn't think she would go through his pockets, because that would be a kind of like, why are you going through his pockets? Like, this is the son that you abandoned for 20 years. Why do you feel comfortable doing that? But if she maybe tried to move the jacket and it fell out the pocket, and she picks it
but
up,
how would she know what it is?
Exactly.
How would she know what it is,
she
though?
works for Vought.
She's an Amway salesman. I mean,
No,
she's
she's a Vitalife or whatever, like
yeah,
Vitalife.
But like you,
Herbalife or whatever it is. That's
yeah.
she's a low level. So again, and I think I mentioned it too, along with Mike. Very suspicious. All of a sudden, you just pop up. Hi, I'm your mom. Yeah, I've been talking to your dad for a couple of years. Dad's never mentioned it.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, the explanation. I actually like the explanation that he gave why he made her like the head of the estate, which he told the whole story about Jar Jar and
Yeah.
how him. I was like, I don't know how Hanukkah's watching. I was like, ugh, see, exploded blood and shit
I
from
was
both
like,
ends. I
yeah,
was like,
exploding
ugh.
cats. Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
But it's like, but he explained to him that you like holding on to things, and I don't want to be something you hold on to and just hold on to until I just waste away. I'd rather have someone who's going to make the decision, and
Yeah.
I respect that. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
actually a really good explanation of
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
still don't know how she just picked something up off the ground and injected it into him
But
without
it's
knowing what it is.
no,
She
because
knows what it was.
again, we
I,
had this conversation in the last episode. Y'all were the ones who reminded me that they made the information about the V publicly available. So she
Public
would know
knowledge,
what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, but why would you assume, unless you've been working for them, that you assume that since it fell out of your son's pocket, that it was okay to put it in the IV, to give it to him? I
Why
mean,
I
why
think
else why else would he have brought it?
yeah.
That's probably what she was
yeah,
Mhm.
thinking. Why
yeah,
And I
else would he
think
have brought
for
it?
her, she probably was like, maybe Hughie felt like he couldn't do it, but as she said, she didn't want him to lose another parent. Maybe she put that
Hmm.
responsibility on herself so that one, if it does go wrong, Hughie won't blame himself. But two, if it goes right, maybe that'll make her make Hughie lift her up a little bit in his eyes, like, oh, you took this chance and you saved dad, and now we can try to be a family again. I mean, you kind of see when Hugh wakes up, they all are like so happy, and they're acting like a family. And even though Daphne is like, I'm so sorry I missed this, and she has the apologies and she's feeling guilt, but still right there at that moment, all three of them are happy. And then all hell breaks loose.
Then it's like soon as he said, "Where'd your mother go?" And she went to the bathroom. Remember? Oh yeah. I'm
I
like,
was
oh
like,
god.
uh-oh. But I thought it was going to be something like memory loss. I didn't I did not think we were going to see what we saw with Hugh. He
Oh,
disappears from the room because at this point, Daphne's in the room reading a book. Hughie is out. Hughie comes in. Where's dad? I thought he was with you. No, no. And then they're all like, wait, he just got out of a coma and he's not in his bed. Where is he? They go through the hospital looking for him and they find him in this room and he's just standing there with his back turned to them. And they're trying to figure out, hey, dad, are you okay? Hugh, are you okay? There's a dead orderly on the floor and Hugh is holding a human heart in his hand. I was
mm-mm.
like, what did y'all do? And it turns out it's messing with his head, but it's also giving him these powers where he can phase through solid objects.
Reverse flash powers.
Right. So he panics because an officer comes and is like, stop. He runs through a wall,
No,
runs into another room, directly into the middle of a patient's body, and just stops because he freaks out.
oh my
Now,
god.
Mike, no, you can't make that gesture because how you gonna be grossed out by that? But you're okay with a person lobotomizing themselves and hitting them.
There's a difference between materializing in someone's guts and a lobotomy. There's a big difference between somebody walking around in someone's guts and like stomping around like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Then walking out and guts falling on the floor, then someone sticking a needle in their eye. It's like,
See, that was the part that didn't bother me because I was just like, oh, I mean, but I watched The Walking Dead and all other kind of zombie stuff, so that's like par for the course. Like,
exactly.
oh, okay.
So yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, I was like, poor guy. He was like, yeah, I'm a good guy. You can trust me. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, you can trust all of him on the floor, underfoot.
And then when Hughie and Daphne catch up to him, Hugh has no idea what's going on. He just knows he's covered in blood. He's freaking out. And then he's looking. He doesn't recognize Hughie because somewhere in this trauma that he's experiencing, his mind has reverted back to when Hughie was a little boy. So he doesn't recognize his grown son in front of him. And as Hughie's trying to, coax him and talk him through it, he sees Daphne. His whole expression changed. He was like, what are you doing here? You left us. You ruined my life. You ruined Hughie's life. And he started getting angrier and angrier. Here comes another cop with a gun. I'm like, dude, have you not seen the carnage he's already laid in this hospital? Like, maybe you should just back up. And Hughie said the same thing. Hold on for a second.
It was something he said. It's like, he said, like, you looked right through me. And then he started vibrating. And I was like, oh, it's like, I think we talked about it before, how the V just brings out certain. Did we talk about how the V, like, how it determines what kind of powers you have? Like, and it's
It may
like,
have something to do with your own feelings.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like, keep him feeling invisible, and like he was is probably what gave him those powers, because he was like, when he said that, I was just like, oh, dude, that's fucked.
Yeah, because he
I
was
mean,
like, I did, what did he say? I did everything for you, and you just looked right through me like I wasn't even there.
And he was like, I was like, dude.
They also said that the other thing with the V is that it's sort of a generational thing because of what Hughie's powers are. Hugh's powers are similar. So if you have a speedster, then another relative is going to be some type of speedster. So their powers actually sort of bounce off each other.
Yeah, so it's like different levels of teleportation, kind
Right,
of.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah. But that whole thing, Hugh, when the officer approaches him, he just reaches in and again grabs his heart, pulls it out. And at that point, Hughie and Daphne, they run. And I don't blame, because it's like, what do you do? He's lost in his mind. He's lost in his memories. He can't control what's going on with him because they didn't even tell him they shot him up with the V. So he has no idea what's going on.
I just want to take a moment. I just want to take a moment to applaud Simon Pegg on his acting abilities. And number
dude.
two, the way they capture his emotions, like you see how angry he was when she left. Like he was back in that moment again, and he was showing you. They did a really good job of capturing how he was feeling at the time. And I'm sure Hughie did not know that's how angry he was.
Right. Because every time you see Hugh, since we've been introduced to him, he's always seemed like this kind of shy, low-key, trying to be cheerful. Like, you never see him upset, even with stuff when Hughie was like disappearing on him and whatever. He never lost his temper. He never got mad. So yeah, to see him like that, I was just like,
yeah, he was devastated. And I've talked about it before. People have those traumatic experiences. They're stuck emotionally in that thing. And Hughie is the way he is because of the trauma he experienced and how Hugh sheltered him and didn't want to lose him either, and always kept him close.
Yep.
But I'm sure it was a shock to Hughie to see his father that is how angry he was with his mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Like angry enough to kill someone who got in his way of getting to her.
Yeah.
That's like anger on a whole different level.
Yeah, let me shake your heart. I mean your hand. I mean your heart.
Right.
Like,
but then once they're able to kind of like get through to him and he's able to see what's going on, and he's like, what's going on with me? When I say brokenhearted,
emotional damage.
Absolutely. Because it was like he was sitting there like, what's happening to me? Did I do this? Did I hurt? Like when he asked, did he hurt someone? and they had to kind of be like, yeah. His face, he was like, I can't do this. Y'all, again, going back to that conversation, y'all have to let me go. Y'all have to let me go because I can't live like this. I can't be this. Because now, even if he had lived, he's going to spend the rest of his life on the run. If the V doesn't kill him, because again, you're injecting V into a full-grown human, not only a full-grown human, one that is brain damaged or was brain damaged at the time. You don't know what other effects that would have had if they hadn't have taken care of Hugh. He could have come out of that doing way worse than he did.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it was that situation that taught Hughie the lesson that he needed as far as being able to let go. And it was, yes, I third the whole thing about Simon Pegg and his acting because I was bawling by the end of this episode. I was absolutely bawling. Because we know how important that is to, like, the fact that Hughie didn't want to lose his dad to the point where he even considered the V, knowing what the side effects were, knowing what would happen. He was just kind of like, well, maybe I can just have him for a few more days, a few more weeks, a few more months, not thinking about the long term. But now he's gone anyway, and in such a horrible way, because he had this trauma added to what happened to him. Right. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, he went through a whole gamut of emotions. Like, I mean, even when he was sitting there chilling, talking about doing the Da Vinci Code walking tour in Paris, I was just like, and then like actually having a good time talking to Daphne about the time they bought the timeshare, and I was just like,
and their honeymoon and
yeah,
stories that Hughie probably hadn't heard because of the way his mom left and how it affected them. So, I mean, I'm glad that he got that little bit with his parents. He got to see both of them happy together. That's a memory that he can have to replace all the other stuff. But oh my God, the other memories that you have now to replace, like you sat there and saw your dad kill someone. You saw what Hughie just can't catch a break.
No, he can't.
And I'm just starting to wonder if that's like the whole point of this show is just like Hughie can't catch a break.
Yeah. And shout out to Simon Pegg having a better American accent than me. I don't understand how he has such a good American. I was like, I don't even remember how he sounds in real life. I keep thinking he sounds like Scotty from Star Trek, from when he was playing Scotty in Star Trek. But I'm like, that's not his real accent either. Like, what does he sound like? Because his American accent was spot on. I was like, dude, like shit. And his whole performance, I mean, this is like, yeah, this is like top tier.
Just heartbroken. Something else Hughie has to deal with. Okay, let's go talk about some more of the boys, and then we're gonna move to the Vought side of things. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Annie is not okay.
Annie is not okay.
She's on the fritz.
She is losing control, and she's on a slippery slope.
The weird thing is like the way her powers are acting is kind of like how Firecracker's little smoke thing is. It's like it kind of, when you think about it,
anxiety, maybe
performance anxiety, and like very unimpressive. Like it's like no.
Firecracker has cursed her. She's been cursed by Firecracker.
Probably so.
Until you do right by me. No.
Well, I mean, I really think I really do think it's a mental thing with her. Like she's so focused on separating herself from the Starlight persona And so why wouldn't your mind
Mhm.
be like, oh, you don't want to be this person, so why should you have this person's powers? Like it's
Yeah.
literally a mental
Yeah.
block.
Yeah, and combine it with the anxiety.
Mm-hmm. And the
you
anger.
you combine all of that and the anger. It's just
Yeah.
she can't
I mean, they
focus.
they
She
went
can't
they went to
concentrate.
her foundation and fucking trashed it
Mm-hmm.
and but graffitied it up, and it's
All
like
her people have abandoned her.
her whole shit is like falling down, falling apart. So yeah, I'd probably be like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really blame her.
But I mean, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, I mean, Vicky, yeah, what she said cut deep, but you literally just the night before beat someone else's ass because of something that they said. And it is part of the cause of what you got going on in your life now. So you're gonna turn around and hit somebody else, not only hit somebody else, hit somebody that if she didn't have good emotional control, you would be dead right now. You and everybody around you
Yep.
would be dead because she would have popped that head like she did the chicken.
Mhm.
I need you to get a grip, Annie.
It's just like Stan Edgar said. It's a wonder you motherfuckers are still alive.
Let me tell you.
He told the
No
truth.
wonder you
He's
all
That's
have
the
told
truth.
lived
It's
this
the
long.
truth. It's like, how are y'all? This is amazing. It's literally a miracle of modern science that they're not dead.
Mm-hmm. It's just the look.
Because all of them at one point or another go on reflex. They react, and it's like it's not the best thing for them to
No,
do.
because they
Butcher does it
react first
on a
and think
consistent.
later.
Yeah, Butcher does it on a consistent basis. Mother's Milk does it. Frenchie does it, and now Annie's over here whipping bitches, trying to beat bitches up. I mean, one of them definitely deserved it. I don't care. I'm still here. Whoop that trick in my head every time I see Firecracker.
Let me tell you why we're talking about that real quick. The fact that when Sage came up to her and she was like, "You set me up to get my ass beat, and you fell for
Yep.
it." And then she was like, Firecracker said, "If you weren't Homelander's right hand man, I would take you behind the shed and whoop your ass." She said, "Yeah, sounds on brain."
Was it, you
You
think
guys think
you
I'm
think
stupid and poor. I don't think you're poor.
Hey, yo, she said, see, you think I'm stupid, poor white trash. It's like, I don't think
I
you're
don't
poor.
think you're poor. And the
I was
fact
like,
that Sage is saying all of this, she has like no expression on her face. She's just like, I don't think you're poor. You fell for it.
Sage is my favorite
I love
character on
her.
the show.
I love her.
She's amazing.
I
I'm
mean,
still thinking she is single-handedly trying to take Vought down.
I
I
I, I
really
kind of
believe it.
feel like that
I'm
too.
more and more convinced. She had
I
his
think
three biggest fans killed. She got Firecracker, got her ass whipped on stage. It's just one thing after another. And
On
Sage is like,
national,
well, yeah,
excuse me, on
on
international
national
TV.
TV. Yeah.
in 4K.
International TV.
I,
In
In 4K.
4K.
I
Yep.
think I wonder if I think maybe she has something against Vought about whatever happened when she got kicked off of Teen Kicks or whatever that group
Oh no,
is.
I'm gonna tell you some other things she could probably have against Vought. Let's see.
Oh,
Oh
oh
my
wow.
God. Oh
B52
Lord, you got a
Expo.
list.
You got notes?
That's what I was doing while y'all were talking about the acolyte before we started recording. The V52 Expo. So I guess we are gonna go to the Vought side right now. So the V52 Expo is kind of like D24. It's when they're announcing.
Oh my God.
It was beautiful. It
I
was
know what
so
you go. I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
No,
This is gonna be fun. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so
You,
it's
you talk
where
about
they.
the DEI initiative that they
Oh
had
yes,
with
yes,
the
that's exactly where I'm going because I wrote all
Black
that
at it.
shit down. So the B52 Expo is kind of like D24s when they bring out all the Vought upcoming movies, TV shows, whatever, and they give it to you. And I think in this one, I think the Deep said these were phases 5 through 19. And we're gonna give them all. We're gonna give them to you all in excruciating detail. So
Kripke just he was like, I'm taking shots at everybody.
Everybody.
I mean, he's just like Kendrick, like what, just like shooting everybody. I was like I mean, I was like, okay, phases, yeah, multiple reshoots, most expensive, like yeah, got that.
Yeah,
Like
reshooting the reshoots.
reshooting the
Making it the
reshoots.
most expensive TV show in history or movie in film in history. But
I mean, it's
no,
got to be good, right?
Let me tell you, A Train was so over being on that stage. He was so over it. So they play the trailer for Training A Train, which is the movie that they were filming with Will Ferrell. Then
Oh my God.
Cameron and the Deep and A Train are on the stage and they're talking about the diversity initiatives because Vought is committed to raising BIPOC voices. I was like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
So then they start talking about the DEI initiative, because you have 3 heroes, 2 Black, 1 unspecified.
I said, wait, who are they talking about? Black Noir?
Yeah, because nobody really knows who he is up under there. But yeah,
like,
so you got
wow.
the 2 Black, 1 unspecified, and they're going to help amplify the BIPOC voices. These articulate heroes. I was like, you know what? Y'all are using all the trigger words. They're going to be Black at it. I was like,
oh God, that was so bad. I was okay. I have to
oh no,
apologize.
The Deep saying, they usually say go broke, go woke, get broke. We say go broke, get yoked. I was go.
I have to send an apology to anyone who was listening to me as I was watching this because I said at this particular part I said the N word like 5 or 6 times. I was just like, as soon as you saw the peach on what the fucking peach
Yes.
I was like
the digital enhancements to the movies, to one of the Deep's old movies. He comes in, he was like, when I come in, he said, if it's a white audience member watching it, they will see in my hand a freshly brewed IPA. But if it's
I take offense to that because I love IPAs.
But if it's a person of color, they're gonna see it. And was it peach flavored cognac? I was like, I feel called out right now. I really do.
You probably saw you were like, you were offended at first, and then you were like,
But did you see all the Black people? They were like,
because
A Train was sitting on the stage like,
yeah.
A Train was done with them.
I at the end of the day, I don't know what Kripke's. Well, I do know he's getting at because everything is over commercialized. But when you take it this far, where they start, this will be something Disney would do. Like Disney would do this. They'll say, "Hey, product placement. Yeah, if we could digitally alter based on who's watching,
no,
they would do it in a heartbeat."
Let's put a bottle of Hennessy on that table over there. And then let's have them come back and be drinking out of a Popeyes cup. And then it's like we'll go over there and have them wear a pair of Air
fried chicken and watermelon.
First of all, don't get it twisted. They already do this. They do this.
I watch they clone Tyrone.
They do this already. They just don't do it digitally. They just go ahead and put the shit in the movie.
No, it's blatant. It's blatant. Yeah.
Right. Come on now.
I mean,
however, this points it out and makes it even funnier at how ridiculous it actually is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this comes after
because Mike loves his freshly brewed IPAs.
The motherfucking right I do. But IPAs are delicious, damn it. And see, and the whole part of this is like this came right after Homelander and Ryan were walking down the hall, and Homelander was comparing his struggles to slavery, and I was just like, Negro. I was like what?
Yeah, I think I let the N word slip a couple of times. Like, what? And Ryan is looking at him so confused, like
He's like,
Like, what
Ryan,
the
we're gonna
fuck is
experience
wrong
our
with this man?
emancipation from slavery. I was like, Nick.
Ryan is looking at his dad like, what the fuck is this man's problem?
I was just like, I was
So
I
put this in the column for Sage's revenge tour. Just
yeah.
put that out there because I know she's not cool with that.
You saw how she was standing over on the side, just looking like.
Yes,
But
A-Train
she's
looked at her.
also
She was like, I'm already wearing this ridiculous bullshit. Now I gotta watch this shit. The bullshit that she didn't want to wear in the first place, just
right,
because of shit like this.
right. But oh my god, when they started talking, I was like, y'all just please shut up, please shut up, please shut up. It was just like, oh, this is like so cringeworthy. But I was like, like you said, Anthony, I know what they were trying to do. They're trying to make everybody else say this is how stupid y'all sound when y'all say this kind of shit in
Yeah,
in, in
this
real
is
life.
why they were getting all offended and shit. Like, I can't believe they went all woke. I'm like, we just showing you your world. I don't know
Go
what you want
woke,
us to
get yoked.
get yoked.
Does he even know what that means? Get yoked? You gonna put a yoke on me? You gonna make me plow the field? I mean,
I think you meant get
what do
yoked
you
like
mean?
get. I think you meant yoked like get big and strong by being hooked up to something and pulling it like a slave. Yes,
Oh, so if I get yoked, I get big. Is that by pulling the plow? Does that make
exactly.
my muscles get bigger?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, pull it, boy. No,
I mean
We
the
always in the
cringy.
path of make America great again. Just you know.
oh my god,
We're not even
man, no.
we're not even going there. And
Uh,
and that wasn't. And here's the thing, that wasn't even the start of the cringe worthiness of all of the of that kind of thing in this episode, because you start out the episode with them talking about Vought films since the inception of Vought. And yes, I did a Michael. I wrote them all down because I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna show
the
how
bullshit.
politically incorrect and how wrong and how everything is. You have Bomb Sight in The Curse of Fu Manchu. This is a white dude, 1953. Curse of Fu Manchu. You have Liberty, which Liberty is a soup we've heard talked about before, right?
No, that's Stormbreaker.
Okay.
That's Storm. Yeah,
They're the same person.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Stormfront.
Stormfront,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
Okay. So she was in a
Nazi bitch.
Budweiser
Yeah.
ad in 1957.
Possibly Homelander's mother.
Yeah, that someone was looking at that ad in her season. Like that was it was the same ad that someone was looking at. Like I think it was Don Lewis had it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. And
Yeah.
then of course the big one that kind of stopped and they had to turn them around. Big Chief Apache says, "Don't litter Kimosabi." Big old
White
white
dude in the
man
headdress.
with the headdress and the single tear coming down. I was like,
Did you know that the thing is based on the dude that's not an Indian? Like that's an actual white dude?
He was Sicilian, I think.
Yeah, he was Sicilian. He
Yeah,
wasn't
he
Native
was
American.
Sicilian.
I'm like, because I was watching New Rock Stars, shout out Eric Foss, and I was like, nothing's real. Like nothing's real in this. Like nothing, everything's fake.
man.
Nothing is real.
Then you have
But yeah, and then you saw Crimson Countess do her version of Coffee
yeah,
in one of those movies
Countess and
too.
Whiskey Sunrise. You have Payback and Red Thunder 3. Lamplighter is Y2 Chaos.
Oh my
Queen
god.
Maeve, Her Majesty, Rising Tide, Translucent and Invisible Force 2, The Dawn of the Seven. I was just like, all of these, like the imagery and just the fact that even for the ones that had like ethnic based titles, you have it was just, I was like, oh, okay, this is how we're starting out. All right, y'all are already telling me this episode is about to be full of fuckery. I didn't think it was gonna be like this. Like, oh my god, it was horrible. And then in the midst of all of this stuff going on with the V52 Expo, you have Sage walking up to A Train. And at this point, I was like, A Train, she's made you. Because what did she say? You know, he was like, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the source of this leak." I mean, it's got to be someone, right? That evidence didn't just run up out of. I was like, the fact that she used those words,
I
and he just
told,
stopped
like,
and he
I
looked at
told you
her
she
like,
knows.
caught.
hmm. I was
And it's
like,
like she had
I
just
told you she knows.
yeah, let me know if I can help. I was like, yeah,
right. She's like,
she knows.
So she's playing that for another angle. But then he goes to Ashley. He was like, "Yeah, Sage knows it's me. You got to help me get out of this." She was like, "You dumbass, you just made me an accomplice." He was like, "Look, you already made yourself an accomplice when you went and took a poop in Homelander's toilet." Which, again, how does he not? Anyway, Homelander got other things on his mind, like trying to teach his son to stand up for himself and other people. We'll get to that. But I was just like, one, A Train, I think, and again, I know he's trying to do this redemption thing, whatever, but just practically speaking, A Train need to get the fuck out of there. He does not need to be nowhere near Vought. He does not need to be anywhere near Sage or Homelander. He just, you trying to save your neck, you need to go. Because that is not the place for you right now.
Nope.
Oh, well. Okay. Homelander and Ryan. So, you remember that evil little smile we saw on Ryan's face at the end of last season, and how it was like, he seems like he's not going in that direction. He seems to be splitting it very straight down the middle. He is cutting hairs because Adam, the douchey producer, is pitching, I guess, a TV show to Ryan, and Ryan is like, why are we doing a teenager show?
He's pitching Sky High.
Super school.
Yeah, he's pitching Sky
Yeah,
High.
Sky High.
Yeah, basically. And you know, he's trying to say, oh, because it's gonna have good optics, it's gonna be the bestseller, blah blah blah. And all the while he's doing this, he's like talking to his assistant, who is a young girl, and he's being very douchey and very creepy with her, just, you know, kind of borderline sexually harassing her at this point.
It wasn't borderline. It was pretty blatant. It's like, did you get my text? And she's like, oh, I got. Yeah, that was like.
That's why I said borderline, because just asking if you got a text, that's not sexually harassing, but he is harassing her. You can tell it by her body language. Like, she's like, you're creepy. But afterwards, when they are in the studio, Ryan sees them again, and this is where him and Homelander are having a conversation. And Homelander is like, look, I'm glad you stood up for yourself about not wanting to do the movie. I really want you to be honest. I don't want us to, you know, he was like, it's time for us to stop living to be what other people want us to be. You do what you want to do. You speak up. Your opinion is the only one I care about anyway. And he was like, what do you want to do? Ryan says, well, I want to help people, like really help people, not fake helping people, but I want to really help people like a hero. I think that's what my mom would want. You can see Homelander kind of get triggered by that. But he was like, okay.
He didn't like that shit.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So, and Ryan's over there looking because Adam is fucking with Bonnie again. And Homelander's like, her, do you want to help her? Ryan's like, yeah, you want to help her? Okay. Hey, Adam, lovely young lady to come here, and you come too. And this is where this is where it starts splitting. You're splitting hairs because Ryan is asking her. He was like, "Is this guy making you feel uncomfortable? Is he bothering you?" And she was like, no, yeah, actually, yeah, he is. He's really, yeah, and it's getting on my nerves." You find out that Ryan is definitely Homelander's child. He's like, oh, okay. Say you're sorry. Oh, that didn't sound like you meant it. I need you to say it like you meant it. Oh, okay. Now get on your knees. Hey, Bonnie, why don't you hit him? Yeah, I was just like,
wait, what? I was like, wait, what?
right,
And
right.
then,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't quite that upset about it because I was like, yeah, he deserves to be hit a couple of times because if he's been harassing her the way that she says he has, then yeah, he probably need a couple of hits to be like, leave me the fuck alone. But it's just that with
Well,
Homelander
she showed it though.
huh?
She showed it. She showed it. Like all that built up, pent up.
yeah, she leaned in. She leaned into each and every one of those. She
Mm-hmm.
was cat. But just like they said in Chicago, he had it coming. But shout out to Ryan sipping that drink from the straw, looking like a rebuilt King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Like,
Wow. Wow.
see
But
that's two Game of Thrones references in this series.
yeah.
My second one. But yeah, I mean, he was just sitting there like, this is nice. Yeah, do that. Yeah, beat his ass. I was like, shit, this is getting deep.
Just like his dad.
Yep.
Right. But the crazy thing is Homelander is sitting there and he's like, he's taking it in pride that Ryan is, kind of orchestrating this. But again, Ryan is doing this for altruistic purposes. He's like, this man was sexually harassing this woman, so she deserves to get her revenge or to take her frustration out, whatever the case was. He was really doing it for a good purpose. It's just that the manner that it's being done in is what kind of skewers it now. It's like, okay, are you really trying to help people, or are you being cruel and saying that you want to help people? I don't think that's Ryan's MO. I think he really wants to help people. And unfortunately, because he has Homelander as his example, he's going to make some questionable decisions until he decides to completely stand up for his self and cut ties with his dad. And I don't think he's quite ready to do that yet. But it was weird watching it because it's like, on the one hand, you want to cheer, like, yeah, hit that motherfucker. Yeah, make him leave you alone. I mean, as a woman, I have felt that. I have been subject to that kind of harassment. So, yeah, I'm sitting there cheering. Yeah, do it. But at the same time, I'm like, ooh, this is a slippery slope. I don't know if we want to go down this road, Ryan.
We going.
No, let's not do this.
Yeah.
But hopefully this was just a one-time thing as far as the way that he handled that situation. Because I'm pretty sure he'll probably look at it later like, maybe we should have done that a little bit differently. But again, Ryan is still in his learning stage because he was sheltered for the first 12 years of his life. So he has to figure out the rights and the wrongs. But I would think that him being raised by Becca, something in him was telling him that that wasn't right. Regardless of the circumstances, that still was not quite the right way to solve that problem. At least not long term anyway.
Yeah.
Did you think Adam isn't going to do that to somebody else when Ryan's not looking? Of course.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Maybe
Who knows?
Maybe getting the shit slapped out of him for 2 minutes straight might straighten him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least until her arm got tired, she was just like, I mean, she that was like a lot.
Or it could have the opposite effect too. I mean,
Yeah.
people who get called on the carpet, they'll take it and then they'll think about it and then they get pissed and then they do even worse the next person around because they got called on the carpet. So it could have been a lesson, it could have been a backfire.
Yeah.
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 So
True.
That's true. Okay. We gotta talk about Cameron Coleman.
Oh my God.
Because he breaks up with Ashley in this episode. Just basically
Ashley can't catch a break. She's just trying to survive in the big city, and
you know what? I
she trying to
really
get dragged into
have
shit. She done lost
no
her little toy, and it's like,
sympathy for Ashley. I have none. Especially after the way she was the first three. I have no sympathy for her whatsoever. But in this episode, you know, Cameron breaks up with her. What does he say? I need a dom who's more dominating because one, she's no longer in charge at Vought. So that kind of lowers that status. And then I don't know, maybe he's sensing the anxiety that she's having with everything that's going on with Homelander and everything. But he was like, yeah, this just isn't doing it for me anymore. But I still
No,
hope we
he
can
ain't
be
sensing
friends.
no. He's that sensing no anxiety. She just ain't dominant enough anymore.
But I'm saying that
He
that
just
anxiety is probably what's causing that, because when
yeah,
she was in
she's not giving off
charge,
that vibe anymore.
yeah, she's not giving off that vibe because she's running scared right now.
but
She's
she don't
scared.
even have the power anymore. No, I
I mean,
mean,
the
even
thing
with
is,
or
like,
without, she don't even have the same position. Like she's is. He basically has said that Sage is running things now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
but
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. All of that is contributing to how she's feeling, and that is probably contributing to her lack of domination in their relationship. And he was like, no, you're not doing it for me anymore. You're not fierce anymore. You're not in charge anymore. Because when she was in charge, she was a bitch. She was a bitch. She was nasty to everyone. She was degrading to people. She talked down to her assistants. She was a bitch. And that's probably one of the things that kind of drew Cameron to her. But she's not that anymore because she doesn't have that power. So he's like, yeah, okay, you know what? Maybe we can still be friends. So what she ends up doing after A-Train comes to her and says, look, you got to help get Sage off my back because if I go down, you go down too. So what does she do? She takes Cameron, or she exposes Cameron. She does some kind of thing where she exposes, quote unquote, Cameron as the leak. The Deep
she
finds
used his
him.
phone.
Is that what it was?
She made
Okay.
some phone calls. Yeah, she's his phone.
Okay. The Deep takes him in front of Homelander, says, hey, here's your leak. And it's not only Homelander. Homelander is in there. A-Train is in there. Sage is in there. What's the name? Sam and Kate from Godolkin are in there. So you've got all of these people in there. And you know it's about to get ugly. You just brought this man in front of Homelander and said he was the lead. It's about to get ugly. A-Train is looking like, what the fuck? Because he knows that this is Ashley's handiwork. Sage is looking at A-Train like, are you gonna stop this? Like she's really looking at him like, I know it's you, but what are you gonna do? What is A-Train gonna do? Nothing. A-Train ain't finna save, he ain't finna risk his life for that man.
No.
And they sit there.
Shout out to Homelander for giving a speech comparable to the one from The Untouchable that Robert De Niro gave as Al Capone in The Untouchables. Robert De Niro gives a speech as Al Capone where he's like, life goes on, where he's like, made some losses, and he's talking about loyalty. And he has a bat and he goes behind this dude that betrayed him. And he's like, loyalty is most important. And the guy's like, loyalty. And he's like, yeah. Looks at the bat, bashes the guy's head in with the bat. And it's like, it kind of gave me the same kind of parallel juxtaposition as far as that goes. So, but it's like, Anthony, again, Anthony Starr is fucking ridiculous. This is the role. See, Robert Downey Jr. was made to play Tony Stark. Anthony Starr was made to play fucking Homelander. I really can't see anyone else playing him.
Yeah.
Like Hanako said, he has this ability to have these little shifts in his face,
Yeah.
like these little ticks or like a shift in his eyebrow. Those little things, like this man is
Nuts.
he's
He's knucking
nuts.
butts. He's knucking
Yeah,
butts.
he
Yeah.
really is.
Mm-hmm. But they all start they start beating Cameron, they start beating his ass.
Poor Cameron.
Poor Cameron.
Again, I think again, Sage. I know she had to have thought that this was going to happen because she knows about Sage and whatchamacallit. I mean about
Ashley and
Cameron and Ashley. She knows about that, and she knows if Ashley was going to try to save herself, or either one of them, they was going to put it on Cameron.
Right.
It would be easy to do.
And Ashley is sitting
I
outside
would be
that
surprised.
room, and she's horrified now because she realizes what she has done. Like, I think she was pissed at him, and she wanted him to, she wanted to hurt him because he dumped her. But like I said, you just put him in the room with Homelander to begin with.
Yeah.
Firecrackers.
And this Homelander's
fuck.
This Homelander's propaganda machine is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Sage is playing. She playing 4-dimensional chess with these people.
Right.
No, she playing
because
a whole nother.
She's looking at A-Train like, "What you gonna do?"
A-Train like, I ain't doing shit. I'm good now.
Again, playing board games. She playing cricket.
He's gonna have
A-Train looks after A-Train. As soon as the heat was off him, he's like, damn, that's fucked up. But it's not me. So
no, I won't say that, because if you look at his face, he was feeling that. He was feeling that guilt. He knew that an innocent man was about to die for him, but he wasn't.
Yeah, I think he was horrified as well.
He was horrified, but again, he's not about to sacrifice himself for that, because you think Cameron getting beat is bad. If A-Train is exposed as the leak, whatever Homelander's gonna have for him is gonna be so much worse. So much worse. Because also you have to remember, A-Train has his brother and his kids out there. So yeah, A-Train ain't gonna say nothing. He will probably have a panic attack about it in his apartment later. He will probably be like, what the fuck? He will but he's not gonna say anything to save that man's life. But now Ashley's gonna have that guilt too. Like, y'all just, I don't understand why y'all keep doing this shit. And Homelander is right there. Like, figure something else. Won't. Because here's the thing. If at any point Homelander figures out that Cameron wasn't the leak, and he finds out where that information came from, it's over. It's over. Yep. Ashley can kiss her whole head of hair goodbye. She could probably kiss that head goodbye too. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be rolling on the floor somewhere,
or have a hole burnt through it.
No, I think that'll be too quick for her. I think Homelander will want to make her suffer.
I don't know. He might do like he did Madeline Stillwell, where he just looked at her and burned her eyes into her skull, like slowly, like while he was holding her head.
Exactly. That's not a quick death. That he's gonna make her suffer.
Yeah, I'm saying burn a hole in her head like that.
No, yeah. or put a hole in her uterus like he did whatchamacallit, and just let her lay there.
Yeah. From the rooter to the tutor.
Was that Frank? Was it Frank? Or,
that was no Frank is the Frankfurter.
Frank was
Frank's the Frankfurter.
What are y'all talking about?
It was Mitch. Mitch is the one.
Last episode, Mitch. It was Mitch. Yes, got castrated.
Got rooted to tutor. He got punched through.
In the red room.
In the basement.
Oh yes.
In the basement.
Oh, that was Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he would do that. He'd do the same thing. He would do the same thing to Ashley and let her suffer.
Probably. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think there are two things left we need to talk about. Frenchie and his guilty conscience. He done turned himself in
I
for
feel
murder.
genuinely bad for Frenchie. I'm just like, even though he brought these things onto himself, I hate seeing my boy suffer like this. I
He
really
didn't.
hate.
He was being controlled by somebody else. Remember, we do. As much as he is a
Yeah,
murderer, Frenchie is also a victim,
yeah,
and he was a
that's true.
victim first because little Nina was controlling him.
Yeah,
So, but oh, he went and turned himself in and didn't tell nobody. Kamiko was sitting there messaging him. He's ignoring it because he's turning himself in. And the police department, like he's literally sitting there like, hey, I need to do such and such. I've committed murders. And then she starts looking, plural. And then she wants to start taking him serious. Like, dude, get off the phone and see. Look, customer service. You deal with the customer in front of you, and the customer on the phone is secondary. But oh,
she
Frenchie.
didn't care. She probably just thought that was some other drunk bum saying, "Hey, excuse me, I'm drunk. I need a place."
Yeah.
But
It is Frenchie. He probably was high,
mm-hmm.
drunk,
As a
or
kite.
But you
inebriated in
mean when he
some
turned
other.
himself in? No, I think he was
No,
probably as sober as he's ever been.
Maybe,
Because
yeah.
if
I
he had
find that
gone in
hard
there,
to believe.
no, because of that guilt that's sitting on him, and then of course they have him. He finds his little rosary in his desk. So yeah, I think Frenchie was probably sober when he turned himself in, because if he was high, if he was drunk, they wouldn't have taken him seriously. They probably would have been like, oh, he's just talking nonsense because he's drunk. We're gonna throw him in the slammer, let him sleep it off for the night. No, Frenchie wanted to make sure that they took him seriously when he walked in that building. I fully believe he was sober, like completely sober. But damn, now he locked up. Oh well.
He's locked up.
Okay, Akon. But at least he taught Hughie some stuff, because Hughie was
Yeah.
able to use some of the knowledge he got from his French friend to make a
Mm-hmm.
cocktail to put his dad down, because again, his dad was like, I can't do this. I don't
Damn.
want to live like this. You need to let me go. So
At some point, his mom has to wonder, like, who are these fucking people you're hanging out with?
right,
Like,
right. Like, who are your friends? And she was probably looking at him when he said, oh yeah, I have this French friend that taught me a little bit about drugs. She's looking like, what? Like, this is what you left your son to deal with.
mm-hmm.
This is what you left your son to deal with. So the last thing we need to talk about. Oh, so going back to the animal farm, we find out that Samir is the scientist who is working on trying to engineer this virus. And we also find out, whoop, Samir is Victoria's baby daddy. That's Zoe's dad.
Oh my
Because
God, that was so funny. He was like, "Yes, he betrayed me by deflowering my daughter." She was like,
she was
"I'm
like, I had
20.
already been
I'm thoroughly
deflowered.
deflowered."
Yeah,
I was like,
thoroughly
"Damn,
deflowered.
shit. Okay, damn. Hold up."
But in the midst of them trying to get away from these animals, they figure out a solution. They're like, okay, so what we can do, they took one of the dead guys who had been attacked by the animals. They pulled, I guess they pulled part of the virus out of his bloodstream, and they just took some of his blood in, or no. Okay. They
No,
took
they actually had one sample of the virus.
of the virus. Was it the antidote or something like that?
No, it was the actual virus.
It was the
No,
actual
it was
virus.
that
Okay.
it was the last. Yeah, it was the last of the virus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they injected it into one of the dead guys, put the body outside, because they figure once the animals got to it, of course, this virus is supposed to attach itself to the V in the bloodstream. So what happens is you got sheep and shit falling from the sky. But this is not before other people got attacked and killed. So in the midst of this, Samir goes missing. They don't know where he is. And when the police finally get there, they show Victoria a recovered leg that looks to be Samir's. Okay, so we're thinking Samir is dead. So turns out Butcher, and that should be all I have to say. Butcher somehow got Samir away, put him in another barn, cut his leg off, and now he has him changed up because in his mind, oh, you're gonna make some more of this. You're gonna make some more of this virus. I can't do that. Yes, you can. You will. You're gonna make a whole bunch for us. Kessler is with him. And I gotta say, Mike, yeah, I'm fully on board with you and Anthony now. Kessler is a figment of his imagination. Because
I'm saying I literally saw it since the first episode.
Yeah, he keeps saying we and us and we and us. But notice
Samir looked over and was like, who?
Samir was like you talking to.
Wait a minute, was this the episode where he was talking to him? I thought that
no,
was...
because he said you're gonna make us, and Samir kind of looked to the side, was like, who?
Oh, okay, yeah, because
it was like, subtle. It was just a subtle look to the side.
Yeah, because every time he was talking, Samir was looking directly at him. And I mean, Samir could have thought like when Butcher was saying we, he could have been talking about us as like all of us who were together earlier. He could have been talking about that, but yeah, I'm fully believing Kessler is a figmentation of the imagination.
It was at one time Butcher looked over there and said something and looked back at Samir. Samir looked like,
yeah.
Who's he talking to? So,
yeah,
he is not there.
Yeah, and
Butcher's talking to
Butcher's
a ghost.
Not all there.
He's talking to a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Shout out to Omid Abati, the guy who plays Samir, because he played the same similar kind of person in was it The Mandalorian or
Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Yeah, he was also the guy that was in what was the one where Orlando Jones we were watching?
American Gods.
Yeah, there you
American
go.
Gods.
He's also on Fear the Walking Dead as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I was so happy.
He's been in a lot of stuff, but I'm like, I hope he doesn't get typecast as a really bad scientist who always has bullshit happen to him.
No, because his other roles are completely different. He plays different type of characters. So
yeah, he played Hawkman in a Justice Society cartoon. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Voice Hawkman.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he was in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur too.
Seen that. That's on my very long list of things I need to watch.
I watched one episode. That was good good enough for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm halfway through the second season, so bite me.
Oh,
okay.
So. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, how? The way that see, here's I have another theory. Okay, so the way that she looked at that leg.
Whatever, Anthony. Whatever. We don't care we don't care about your no theory t-shirt. We don't care. Mike, you go with your theory and you go with it proud.
Okay, so when how she was all broke. She was really broken up when they couldn't find Samir because she thought he got eaten. But then she saw the leg and she was just kind of like, oh, okay. I don't know. It kind of, you could say that she was just kind of reserved to the fact that he got eaten and there was a leg left behind, or she's probably like, oh, something's not right with that, and she's gonna figure it out later. Because you see later on, she ends up freeing her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like,
Okay.
damn. I
The
felt bad for him
leg,
because
was the leg like torn off, or did it look like it had been sawed off?
it looked like a clean cut
It
to
looked
me.
like it was cut off. Yeah.
Okay, so she's probably looking at that like, something's not right.
Right. So I'm like, yeah, this might come back. This might come back around later somehow. Like she probably figured out that Butcher has him somewhere making a virus. So she's probably keeping an eye on him and be like, okay, so when he gets it, I can just pop his head, take it, and then be ready for Homelander.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out to Mother's Milk sticking to the deal. He was like, yeah, the deal's for the virus. No virus, no deal. See ya. About to send him back to prison. I'm like, damn, just in time for you to go to sleep and wake up for pottery class.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. So there is one other thing we got to talk about. Janine. Girl done punched the boy at school, got suspended for 2 weeks. And then when her dad is like, you don't solve your problems with violence, why not? You do. I was like, oops.
Shout out to her for bringing back the old drug commercial. How'd you learn how to do this? From you, all right. I learned it by watching you. Parents who beat up people have children who beat up people.
And that's another reference that
Wow.
only Gen X people who listen to this show will get.
I know, but I just had to make it. Yeah,
The more you know.
The
more you know.
Oh my goodness. But
yeah, I was like, but see, that's the thing. It's like it's sooner or later because she already lost her stepfather that she looked up to, and it's like she's going through a lot. She's a teenager. Teenagers go through stuff and have, they lash out. And this is her
and she
lashing out
does
to
know
get
the
someone
truth about
shot.
Homelander, because that was the whole reason why she got into a fight. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
this boy was talking about Homelander. She told him that Homelander mess was, fake and it wasn't true, and Homelander was bad. And she said, the guy told me F word me, and I punched him. Okay. But
Hey, that's what she's supposed to do.
right. But I did see somebody was doing a radio interview, and it was one of these there's a radio show where the guests have to call like a famous friend to see if the famous friend will pick up.
Yeah.
And this guy called Laz Alonso. And one of the questions that they asked him was about his weight loss and whether or not it was for the show and was that his idea. He did say that yes, his weight loss is for the show, and it was his idea because he wanted to show just how much strain was under.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Just the clip you showed us the other day?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't mind the weight loss. I need the facial hair back. I need the facial hair back. Then maybe I can stop giving such a hard time. But I will say this. He did bring Butcher back into the fold in this episode because he was like, look, he knows what to do. He knows he's the one that can lead this. He was like, I can't do this shit. So I think he's learning. He's saying like, oh, maybe I'm just a little bit over my head with this group. Yeah, let me bring in somebody who knows how to deal with this chaos. Even though Butcher is, I just don't know what to say about Butcher. And at this point, I don't know if he's just not making good decisions just because he doesn't make good decisions, or if the mass on his brain is affecting him. But what kind of virus do you think
he's
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't I'm not gonna say he's not making bad decisions. I mean, he's doing what he thinks is right,
Well,
I guess.
What's the mayor gonna do? Locked up in a barn, half a leg gone. First of all, that man needs some medical attention.
Mm-hmm.
What, you have no equipment, because most of the equipment down in the lab was messed up. Well, I guess they had a little bit of equipment, but I mean, really, what is he going to be able to do in a barn?
Well, first of all, you can't really expect a man to make a virus that could potentially kill the love of his life and his child. So he's got to get over that that first.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean,
That's a hell of an obstacle.
yeah. Because you can make something that will kill, either way it goes. You make something that kills Vicky and Zoe, but can't kill Homelander. But if it kills Homelander, you know it's going to kill Vicky and Zoe. You have a no-win situation right here. Unless there is something specific in Homelander's blood that you can attach the virus to, just like it attaches to the V. But again, how would you get hold of that? Like any hair that's coming off of Homelander's body, he's hot. Well, unless somebody gets to it.
And A-Train knows where it is.
But then that means A-Train would have to work with Butcher. And I just don't know if I see that partnership working out. I don't know if I see that partnership working out. But I mean, now that
the
I
way
talked
he's
it
losing
up,
hair, the way he's losing hair. Well, the problem is if it's gonna get Homelander based on his DNA, it's also gonna get Ryan.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna have to make a decision.
yeah. Unless Ryan turns, bad, then it might not be that much of a decision. But I don't think
That's
Butcher
true.
would give
I don't
up
think
on
Ryan
Ryan
is.
like that.
No, Butcher ain't gonna give up on him because he made a promise to Becca.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
So,
But Wexler will. Wexler would give up on Ryan in a heartbeat.
yeah, wrestler would give him
Whatever his
Down the
name
river.
is.
yeah.
Wexler, Dressler, whatever. The alter, the Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. But I
The
mean,
devil on his shoulder.
now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, okay. So you create a virus that targets Homelander. I mean, it could work if there's only one dose, just like they had earlier in the episode. They only had the one dose left. But
As
see, I
long as
think the
it's not,
problem,
as long as it's not airborne, and as long as it kills Homelander quickly,
right?
So it doesn't have time to mutate.
Right.
I mean, that's what they're banking on.
Right.
And as long as you don't have sex with any sheep and it won't spread, you should be fine. I mean, it's just like my boy Frenchie said. It's like the guy was in no position to be having sex with sheep. That I was like, the look of disdain that Edgar had for him when he was looking, he was like, they will eat him. He was like,
did he really just say that? It's like,
I mean, he's French. Look,
Frenchie,
he's
where
French.
is your head? Where is your head? Where are you at? All times. Is your brain
like, why is that the first thing that came to your mind?
That's the second questionable thing he said in this episode. So it's like,
bruh, like, why was that? How was that the first thing that you think about?
Oh my
I don't think Frenchie was all there. He wasn't all there. But the only issue I think I could see with the whole virus to kill Homelander, even if it's the one dose, is how do you get close enough to Homelander to get it to him? Because I don't think Ryan would do it. But the problem would be if somebody else tries to do it, let's say a Butcher, let's say A-Train or whatever, and Ryan sees it. Like, I don't think Ryan particularly cares for Homelander, but I also don't think at this point in time he wants Homelander dead. So I feel like if they try to do that to Homelander and Ryan sees it, he's going to find a way to stop it, or he's going to be the one that gets caught, whether on purpose or whether by accident. So it's just kind of like, So I don't know. I got to think about it because I didn't even that wasn't even on my brain when I made that comment. And then as soon as I made the comment at the same time that you went, I was like, oh, wait, that could be a thing. But how would they? Yeah, I'm going to have to ponder on that one. Because I don't think Homelander would let anybody else get that. Yeah,
And I mean, I'm wondering if they have a needle strong enough to pierce him.
They don't.
I mean, I would assume so because you have to get for him to be experimented on the way he was as a kid. I'm sure that there's some kind of way that they can get blood from him or whatever. But
No, I doubt it. They probably made him scratch himself to get blood.
Okay.
And they could just get saliva, semen. There's hair samples.
Sure.
There's way there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, I have to think about that a little bit more.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
if you make it, you almost would have to make it airborne or put it in the aerosol form, and maybe A-Train can run by him and spray him in the face. You can
Well,
make it a
look.
gas. You
Well,
throw
no,
a
because that won't
gas,
work
a
either.
gas bomb into a room, and he'll stop breathing. I mean,
because I was thinking,
say
A Train knows where the he knows where the breast milk stash is. He could put it in the breast milk, but Homelander would smell it. He would smell that something is off. So,
not if it's odorless and colorless, he would smell it.
maybe.
I mean, that's a whole lot to think about. Like, I mean, they have to think about make it work. They can't be thinking about making it without odor or taste or scent or smell. They just have to
Not
make it to
being
make sure it
handcuffed in the
works.
barn
Well,
with half a leg. No.
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
First of all, making it, this got to make it first. We got to get
yeah.
to
Right.
that point.
They can't worry about making it lemon verbena scented or like, tasting like Oreos or some shit. Like, you can
Right.
worry about that shit later. Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is that if even if they did that, it would probably be better if they could find some way to make it like an aerosol or something that just spray in the air, because that's the only way you're going to get it in him without getting close enough to get him to choke you out and kill you.
Yeah, we said that while you were gone.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I mean, there's limited there's very limited ways to do that for someone like him. I mean, and as far as Ryan, I don't think Ryan would do it. I think Ryan would do it only if something really, really bad happened to someone he really loved, but his mother, unfortunately, has already passed away. And I think he cares for Butcher. I don't think he loves Butcher's dad. So I don't think that would do it either. I mean, that would be it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll have to ponder that a little bit, and maybe I don't know. Maybe the next episode will have some answers or have some. Maybe they'll have some discussion about how they plan to do this if they're able to do it. But like you said, Anthony, right now they have to actually be able to get this virus made, and right now I just don't know if I feel confident in them doing that the way that they are, because one, Butcher you can't untie or uncuff Samir. I mean, granted, he's missing half a leg, he's not going to get far, but I just don't think that will be the smart thing to do, because you have to think that Samir, for a person who is in love with the soup and has worked around soups, you gotta think he knows a thing or two about making an escape when he needs to. So you can't uncuff him. You can't really take him back to the house, because at this point now, especially with what happened there, the police are probably watching the house. So yeah.
He can't turn him over to the CIA.
Oh,
them to put them in a safe
absolutely not. Absolutely
they
not.
can't do that.
Mm-mm. He turned him over to Kessler.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out.
He turned him over to Kessler. Let Kessler guard him and stuff. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Let him be guarded by a figment of your imagination. I just that was kind of good, but
The problem
Mike,
is if he did turn him over to the CIA, they would actually have the motherfucker make the virus and not care about the consequences.
of course, of course,
Yeah.
that's exactly why he can't go back there. But I will say this, Mike, I applaud you because you called Kessler being a figment of Butcher's imagination from the first episode. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
good
just
catch.
because it's like, I mean, it just really reminded me of A Beautiful Mind, and it's like for those who know, A Beautiful Mind is the story of a Princeton professor who had who had he saw people. He actually thought he had like three and these three people that he thought he saw, but they were figments of his imagination. But it's like the first one was Paul Bettany, and it's like he would talk to him and just be like a regular. You'd think he was a regular person. Then there's this one thing. One time he's in a pub, and Paul Bettany's talking to him. He's walking out the door, and he walks out, and in walks the woman he's on a date, going to go on a date with, and it's just so instantaneous that I was just like, is he really there? And he kind of gave me the same feeling when it's like you see him coming out of Mallory's office, and Mallory not letting him in, and he's like under a lot of stress. And of course, if something happens, it's just like almost Moon Knightish, like where he created Dr. Stephen Grant to escape. So it's like he created. I just feel like he created or he brought Kessler forth just to kind of deal with him losing control of everything. It's like someone who actually believed in him and helps him focus and get control again. So we'll see. I mean, he hasn't we haven't actually seen that he's actually imaginary, so he might not be imaginary. So you never know.
Yeah, but I'm really starting to think, because if you think back, going back to the scenes where they're together, I thought about what you said. I think it was the last episode where you were saying that he wears the same clothes, he has the same tie on. And then also, if you look at all of the scenes where Butcher and him are talking, it's only the two of them. Like even at the CIA office, people are walking around all the time. It's just them two.
Like
Them
when he
talking
had the
on the
drugs,
bench in the park. It's just them two. Them
when he had
talking. Yeah.
the drugs he was gonna put in the cookies, it's just them two at his house. Like
But
not
then
anywhere
it makes
else.
you wonder how in the hell, like, if Kessler wasn't, well, no, because I was gonna say Butcher probably has means to get
It's
those
Butcher.
drugs. So yeah.
I mean, he had the means. He found the means to get a heroin enema for a web guy.
He got funded for that. He got $50,000 from the CIA. So that's different, you
I'm
know.
saying he knows how to get things. He's the man who knows how to get things.
Mm.
He's just like Red in Shawshank Redemption.
I was literally just about to say the same thing.
I hear you're a man who knows how to get things.
Mm.
I've been known to acquire a thing or two.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any final thoughts on this batshit crazy episode?
Yeah. Shout out to A Train doing the famous Denzel "Get your hands off me" thing when Will Ferrell grabbed him in the preview. I was like, as soon as I saw, he's like, "You can't do it." He's like, "Get your hands off me." I was like, "Oh my god." That reminded me of like the Jamie Foxx and Denzel interview where Jamie Foxx did it. Get your hands off me.
Yeah, that's a film that's close to A Train's heart. He sound like
Heart.
he sounded like
For as close to his borrowed heart.
wasn't even going there, but
I thought you were. Just like Mike.
I was just talking about the fact, going back to the fact that A Train seems to be so over all this shit. And he already, he's already made known his feelings about the movie because it's portraying his trainer in you know, a kind of negative light. Oh, he was from the streets. He was a drug mule, and trainer was this, and he was like, my brother wasn't like that. Like, my brother worked a job while he was training me. He wasn't from the streets and all. So I was looking at it as A-Train is done with all this shit. But yeah, I always forget about the transplanted heart.
About Blue Hawk's heart.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it. The only time I really think about it is when Nathan is mentioned or when he's seen. So, but Blue Hawk didn't really make that much of
also
a
shout out to the Deep being even more of a creep, talking about fucking what's his name's wife after he finishes beating his ass. I was like, bruh, you have some. Okay, this is not to shame. I'm just saying he has some proclivities that are kind of weird.
And I'll say it's okay when you're fucking the octopus. That's a proclivity. I think it was more so an ego thing for him, just to be like, yeah, I'm fucking your wife, because it was kind of said earlier in the episode during the expo, and it was one of those things where you really couldn't tell if he was joking or if he was serious, because him and Cameron are supposed to be cool. So it's like, was he serious about fucking his wife, or was he just saying it to get under his skin? And then
Cameron did say he was going to expose him for having Ambrosius.
Did I?
Yeah, he said, "I know about your 8-legged friend," or something.
Yeah, your eight-handed hand jobs. Yeah,
I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know what? It's hard to feel sorry for anybody in that group.
Anybody in the show? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, Cameron didn't deserve to be beaten the way he did, and I'm pretty sure he's probably dead, because Homelander's not going to leave any witnesses. But yeah, he was kind of a dick too. So it's like, am I supposed to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for any of them. That's my last comment. Anybody else?
Nope, I'm good.
Nope, I'm good.
I'm still impressed. Like, Victoria Newman is so overpowered. It's like when they were in the lab and all their noses started bleeding at the same time, she just calmly walks in. It's like, fuck y'all doing here?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just the way she flexes, like, anytime I want to, I can just.
Right. Like, you have that much control over, like, oh, okay, I can give everyone in the room a nosebleed, and I can make it stop, or I can make it gush, or I can make your head pop.
She was like, "You betrayed me." And Edgar was like, "Oh no, I betrayed you. How does that feel? That must be terrible." I'm like, that's. Stan Edgar is still one of my favorite, probably one of my favorite characters in here, because it's like he's so dry-witted. It's like he looks at Faye like, "Nice. Do you have a towel I could put down?" I was like,
right about the car.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Stan Edgar, and it's all because of Giancarlo Esposito, who is coming to Dragon Con. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think I'm going. I'm gonna try to go to his panel, check him out.
But
cool.
I think the only other thing that I wonder about this episode, I still need to know where Frenchie saw the flying sheep. I just need to know where that comment came from.
Imagination.
Yeah, no, that was he was like, not again. And everybody was like, so I just,
like Mike says, one of those melange-induced hallucinations.
It's a melange of hallucinogenics,
I guess. So hopefully in jail he'll kind of detox that stuff out of his system so that he won't. But can you imagine going to jail after having witnessed all of that, and that's what you're gonna be sitting in a 4x4 cell thinking about? cannibalistic chickens
I'm
or
I'm under the
cannibalistic.
he gives me the impression that he is no stranger to wacky goings on in his head.
I,
Right.
apparently,
I'm sure he's not going to lose any sleep over what he saw, because
I
what
actually
did he
hope to sleep
say?
better.
He said, I can't believe this is happening again." What? So he's fine.
I just
He's
need to know
good.
the
He's
story.
okay.
I
I
just
mean, and
need to
it's
know the
He's
prison,
okay.
He'll just have to find a different melange of hallucinogenics to worry about in jail, because he can't really get the ones he get out here.
He don't need to worry about nothing in jail but getting his ass out. That's all he needs to worry about right now. Cause the boys, they gonna be, especially you're talking about a situation where you're trying to recreate a virus. That's Frenchie all over. Drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all better go get your boy out. Go get him out. And that's
Right.
all I have to say about that. So
Get you.
that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.